That clock keeps ticking like a metronome, and my thoughts keep telling me to get me home, but my balls keep telling me to let me just let me That clock keeps ticking like a metronome, and my thoughts keep telling me to get me home, but my balls keep telling me to let me just let me That clock keeps ticking like a metronome, and my thoughts keep telling me to get me home, but my balls keep telling me to let me Fuck all that shit, just let me go.
Yeah, broadcasting live earlier. This is badass. You broadcasting all the point. I'm with Joey and Matt today. You know, I'm actually going to get to do like some of the alternative content I wanted to do. Apparently, Tipster wanted to do alternative content. It's all like transgenders, right?
Kids dying and
transgenders. New Tipster.
Jesus Christ.
Kids dying, transgenders, and Bud Light.
Kids dying, transgender, and Bud Light was a big failure. Hey man, whatever. I laugh at him because of content, but what? Hey, listen. If that's better than the commentary community, which anything's better, go for it.
Yeah. You know.
Jesus Christmas. Guys, I want to get away from all your goofy age of consent talk. I'm going to talk about this dead child that was stabbed 30 times.
Hear about this trans woman who shot up a school?
Tipster, like Karami German, Tipster hit a new. It's not a low. It's what he wants to do. Whatever. It sounds like he's kind of moving into crime. The transgender thing kind of like I find a little weird, but he said it was a big failure. They fired the head of Bud Light and Anheuser-Busch. What department was it? The department of marketing. That's not a loss. And everybody's pointing to the stock. Do you have any idea how big Anheuser-Busch is? Because people think Anheuser-Busch in the States, they think of Budweiser. There are so many. They're owned by a Belgian company, but Budweiser, right? Anheuser-Busch is owned by they're through a parent company out of Belgium. The company is ginormous. It couldn't possibly be hurt by one Dylan Mulvaney. Bud Light could, the brand, and it was. Yeah, but everybody's like, the stock's fine. The stock's fine. Look, the stock's fine. My crazy, it's still okay to put kids with what do they call them? Fucking the jerk-offs read transgender story hour. Transgender story. What the fuck is it? Drag queen story hour. Mm-hmm. See, Bud Light said Anheuser-Busch's stock is up. Is okay equals a guy in chap should read to my kid or your kid, really. Please, Tommy, talk more about this Crowder thing. There's nothing to talk about, but I'll bring up what I read, what I put on here. Thanks so much. New video: 30 kids dead. That'd be funny. To fuck. I don't know, like, you know what everybody's gonna do? Like, well, Tommy took a shot at Tipster. No, I'm just goofing on him. I don't fucking hate him. All right, yeah, here's what I did. Let's watch this real. We'll do Crowder first.
I have been living with a proverbial boot on my neck for going on years now. Since
it's called marriage.
2021, I've been living through what has increasingly been a horrendous divorce. Now, let me say on the outset, to be clear, there is no infidelity, any kind of physical.
That's interesting. That's because he has a conservative wife. He goes, oh my God, they might be cheating on each other.
Abuse at all.
Because how much you want to bet that Steven Crowder has no tolerance for people that fuck up in that department.
Either side, and no, this was not.
There's no infidelity. He's just insufferable to be around.
Yeah.
There's no infidelity, and he hasn't slept with his wife since he fucking met her, probably.
He hasn't slept with his wife, so he's discovered Grindr.
Then wife decided that she didn't want to be married anymore.
Okay.
And
I've been there. Been there, by the way. Been there.
In the state of Texas, that is completely permitted. It's been
what?
I would hope so.
What?
Like, I guess at 1823 it wasn't permitted, but now
heartbreaking experience in my life, what I consider to be my deepest personal failure, and just so you know, my opinions on parenting and families have not changed.
Maybe you should change them. You're wrong. You're not the guy to go to anymore. Jesus Christ. Does he look like a guy like me? When somebody asked me about parenting, right? And I thought, here's my opinion, which it's worth whatever it's worth, you know? In fairness, I was divorced, so I did have a marriage that fails. Does he sit there and say, like, that guy's opinion is worthless because he's divorced? Is that the vibe I'm getting? You know?
The first thing through Crowder's head when his wife says, I want a divorce was, oh crap, what about my subscribers? Do you know what I mean? They're
Mug Club.
Yeah, Mug Club, yeah.
Mug Club.
I always believed that children need a mom and a dad, that divorce is horrible.
It is.
And I still believe that
It
children
ruins your kids. It absolutely does.
need a mom and a dad, and that divorce is horrible. But in today's legal system, my beliefs don't matter.
No shit. Like that's the thing. I was gonna say this before when I was listening to like 10 seconds ago. He's acting like he's the first man ever to get divorced. No shit. I knew that. I knew that my dad got divorced. By the way, fuck that stupid shit, Steven Crowder. Sorry, I spilled the tea on the couch. Okay. No, was that you?
No.
No, but
JFA.
JFA. No, but this is he's acting like he's the only person. Don't you know about what other guys go through? He's not wrong. You have no right. Let me tell you about divorce. Like when you're kids, you don't get to see them anymore, right? You don't get to make any decisions for them, and you're still totally responsible. It's amazing. There's nothing like it on earth. Right? If my daughter goes out and becomes a complete fuck up, even though, like, I think you should do this, I think you should try this, I don't think that's a good idea. Everything's rejected across the board. You didn't raise her right. You know? So, welcome to the club, motherfucker. So he's right there. In the state, like, is he suggesting the state of Texas shouldn't allow her to get divorced?
Sorry, mate, your wife's miserable. Get over it.
Yeah.
She's left you.
I think it sucks. It's a blow to the ego.
Yeah. And she is a beautiful woman, by the way.
Really?
Have you seen his wife?
In Texas,
Gorgeous.
Yeah, I
His
banged her.
wife.
I banged her because this whole thing is he goes on and suggests that like he's going to sue anybody that crosses the line. For what? Free speech? People can say horrible things to you. That's your whole act, stupid. You can say what you want. It's protected.
divorce is permitted when one party wants it, period.
Listen to him. What a Nazi. Listen to him.
Divorce is horrible, and I still believe that children need a mom and a dad and that divorce is horrible. But in today's legal system, my beliefs don't matter. In Texas, divorce is permitted when one party wants it.
In every country in the Western world.
I was going to say.
You know, like what plan? Well, you move to false country. They won't allow it there. Actually, I think they do.
Period. So for well over a year,
Why does he need to do this? All he has to say is, I'm getting a divorce. It's miserable. Thanks for the support. That's it. He doesn't have to go in his personal feelings. This is so gay.
in the best interest.
Most people get divorced. Most.
Yeah, I know. That's another thing. Like it's the numbers when my dad got divorced was 2 out of 3 marriages.
Yeah.
That's a lot. That's like all of them.
We've decided to keep this issue private.
Well, when you get married again, by the way, second marriages last. You know that?
Yeah,
Yeah,
of course.
Yeah.
Because you've learned the mistakes you made.
I guess. If you've been married more than 3 times, you're not getting married again, though.
Yeah,
really
you're doing like at that point. Yeah,
I got like if Andy leaves, I got to really like maybe it's time to die alone or put a gun.
Yeah.
Resolve it.
Oh, the kids are grown. All right, everybody, it was been good.
Yeah.
Privately with the appropriate attorneys, what have you, legal jargon. And all this, one thing I want to be really clear about is
the state of Texas allows her to get divorced. She should be tied to the fucking kitchen table.
certain. True north here is that my children are blameless, completely without fault. And so we decided to
blame the
resolve these
father.
issues
Get
privately,
used to that.
as it's in their best interests, both emotionally and physically, to do so.
Connor, well, Tommy, let me explain to you a thing or two about divorce. We'll get into that. Stick around. We'll get into that later. Somebody in the newsroom just donated. Don't worry.
Now, the other issue is, and this is something that I've kept private for likely far too long.
I'm gay.
Many other people knew about this behind the scenes. Some, not all, but some of them in positions of power, influence, leverage, knew of this. They also knew that the safety of my children included keeping it private. So if you're familiar with the
Safety? Like,
What's safety?
yeah, I know. You sound like an SJW. You sound like fucking IOC. Tucker Carlson criticizes me. That's an incitement of violence.
idea of extortion, then you know the feeling well. Now, some of these threats were so.
All right, Candace, this goes back into the shit with Daily Wire, doesn't it?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, this has something to do with Daily Wire. You know what? He hasn't gotten his hunk of flesh from there. You know, here's my opinion on Crowder. I think he's apolitical. I don't think he believes in a fucking thing he says. Like a lot of YouTubers, because he doesn't come from like conservative background. He comes from YouTube, so I'm always suspicious. Like I'm suspicious of Chris Ray Gun. You know, I don't think he believes in anything. You know, I hypocrite. The YouTuber kind of pointed that out recently.
So thinly veiled that I'm frankly surprised you didn't all guess immediately.
Stephen has a lot going on, I guess is the best way to say it. He has a lot going on, and that should be clear because people don't do stuff like this if there's not a lot going on.
That was a shitty thing for her to do. He's right about this.
Well, she's a horrible person.
Yeah,
anyway.
this was over the line. This was lousy. You could have done that and fucking win it. Because first of all, his whole Daily Wire fucking thing and try to turn it into a conservative resolution was a YouTube move. We covered that here. And it was about just like it was literally what Keem taught me when I was on Baited. You go into it, you make it look like the other guy started it, and then you take their fans. The only thing is it didn't work for Crowder.
Yeah.
On in their life.
That's why he needed the money. He's gonna have to pay that bitch off who never did a fucking thing and sold one mug. She never sold one mug and she's getting all Steve's money. By the way, I feel for you.
I would like to implore my audience and everybody that isn't paying attention to this situation not to condemn him, but to pray for him. Sometimes people need a prayer.
It's so condescending when people say
Right for him.
Sometimes
I hate people who
need
say that.
scripture. You know, Stephen purports to be a Christian. I am unsure at
Purports. She doesn't believe it either. I don't believe it either, to be honest with you.
this moment.
Even Crowder doesn't believe it.
I don't even believe it. And he is a YouTuber to the bone.
Isn't he like he's a failed stand-up, failed entertainer? So he's
not
not
funny.
doing the
He's a
political
failed
He's
stuff.
never
child
been funny a
actor.
day.
He's a child
He has never been funny a day of his life.
Place to say.
No.
The best thing he came up with was Change My Mind. That was really brilliant, and that's it.
Yeah.
Remember he lied about being attacked by those union guys when he actually kind of started it? I remember that.
Yeah.
By the way,
he's-
like, if you're
he
tuning
got
in the
punched.
first time, I am no lefty. You didn't turn it like this isn't like a Vosh knockoff channel. I just hate everyone on YouTube.
More than that. You know, maybe if I feel in further defense, some things should be said, or maybe if I feel that the public has a right to understand certain circumstances.
What? He's kind of right on this. That was a lousy thing for her to do.
Yeah, it was.
I'm kind of on his side on that one. I also think Andy Worski owned her.
Oh, my
Who
children.
did Andy Worski own more, Candace Owens or Tonka Saw?
Don't have a right to privacy. Now, some other issues have
You don't have
been.
a right to you don't have a right to privacy in the United States. I got news for you. There is no constitutional amendment that says you have a right to privacy. If your state decides it's in their constitution or legislation. Like, I know, because this Canadian doesn't know anything about being American. It's just a big fucking act, like YouTube.
I should say, inferences have been more
And
pernicious.
that's another thing I've always known. I've always felt he was Canadian. He does not behave like an American. He never has.
Behind the scenes with demands and threats to use this information that they believe would be so publicly embarrassing to me and my wife at a difficult time.
She found out you're gay. I'm actually saying that.
Yeah,
shit is
100%.
serious. She found
100% he's gay.
No, because what he's going to do, she's going to come out and say, I found text messages between men, right? And he's going to deny it and say, she's just doing that because it feeds into the fucking thing to me online, and it's probably true.
Yeah.
I bet. It's a guess. It's a guess.
Well, the weird thing is, his old co-host was super campy. And then, like, he got rid of him, right, under weird circumstances. And his new co-host, he's super campy as well. Like, it's weird.
Yeah. Well, what happened? Is his old co-host ever
weird
interview?
Observation, but...
Well, I mean, maybe that's the part he wants you to play. I mean, that's not, like, the worst.
Maybe. I don't know.
Knowingly putting my children in harm's way. So, to those self-styled Christians, conservatives, and allies, well, not in my book. Now, if you find yourself, I don't want to get into details, so this is going to likely be the only time I have to address this or want to address this. If you're asking yourself, hey, did X person or did Y person know? The answer is likely yes, which will be made alarmingly clear as this process of discovery continues.
Oh, boy. Hear that? There's something coming out.
Yeah, there is.
There's something coming out.
And it also, by the way, makes me that much more appreciative of those who did know about this. And in
he fucking suggested, I can't believe it's legal here in the state of Texas to get divorced. It's not like fucking 1819. You know?
Understanding the best interests of my family.
I think Texas was a state in 1819, in fairness.
Children kept their word and used discretion.
It was Mexico.
I can't thank you enough. Sincerely, I appreciate it. Won't forget it.
No.
It's pretty simple. I loved a woman so much that I married her.
Don't we all? He's like the only guy in the world.
A woman who, despite all of this, I still love as the mother of my children. And she wanted something else for her life. That's not my choice.
Yeah, man, I'll sleep with her.
The heterosexual.
Yeah.
She simply wanted out, and the law says that that's how it works. Now, of course, look,
He did it again!
Why does he keep doing
think
that?
that's so bizarre! That is so
It's so
strange!
weird. Like,
Of course! Like, where have you been living? What is he, like 33 years old? You didn't hear divorce? Women can do that? They do it 90% of the time! Well, I knew over there in Oregon and fucking California that women have the right to divorce, but why do you think I moved to Texas? Because I'm Canadian, and I thought they still did it the old-fashioned way in Texas. And that bitch could never leave me. They had some law in the books back in the 90s in Texas. I remember hearing about it. That if you walked in your wife, like, banging a dude, you could blow both of them away.
that'd be amazing.
Well, you can still get divorced.
Story.
So your wife's like your horse. You stole your horse in the old days, you'd be hung.
One thing that is undeniable in this case is that it's no one's fault but my own in that I picked wrong, and that's certainly not the fault of my children.
Fucking psycho.
No, I don't think that's psychotic. That he's an egomaniac. Like, I picked wrong. Like, that's something like that would come out of fucking like Connor's or Augie's mouth or any fucking kid or something. Oh, it's just simply a matter of picking in your 20s. And like, you think you're gonna feel the same way at 25, at 28, at 30, at 35, at 40, and you don't. You go through all these transformations. I know you're almost 30 now. Like, you probably think like, oh my God, like I'm so weirdly different, even though I was considered an adult at 18. I went through all Matt, you the same thing. Yeah, because they all think like, well, if I just pick right, well, guess what? She changes too. Maybe it's nobody's fault. No, wait a minute. Marriage is sacred. It has to be somebody's fault. No, people grow apart.
Yeah.
Look, I'm not going to sit there. I'm kind of conservative. It was probably better in the old days when people had to like, oh, you got married? Now you want a divorce? Fuck. You made the decision. You figure it out. There's something to be said for that. But it's not a reality anymore. In Ireland, I remember when I was like 15, and Ireland finally made it legal to be divorced. 1992. But before that, if you want a divorce, you just you did a boy named Sue. You let a bottle of whiskey behind. You just moved to another county in Ireland.
Yeah.
That was the old way to do it. Now you can do it legally.
Go on, jump on the Mayfly. Go
to America. Oh, God, he's so adamant. Who would listen to this guy for anything? He has no wisdom.
Children. And I will say that what's in the best interest of my children is not internet drama, speculation.
Then shut up.
Certainly not blatant or veiled shakedowns or dragging their father or mother. And I can't be clear on that enough. Or their mother through...
You want to drag her so bad. You're such a
liar.
liar. I want to get on this fucking mic every day and light up my ex-wife. Who are you kidding? You want to, but you can't. Okay. But don't act like you don't want to. You want to tell everybody what a bitch she is. And she probably is. It doesn't matter.
Through the mud.
What happens to women when they're not getting fucked?
Who tries it, I'm no longer going to pacify, capitulate, or sidestep because I love them a whole lot more than I love you. And I will continue to do whatever is necessary to protect my children.
This wasn't it.
Discussing the divorce any further on social...
Here's what he had to do. I'm divorced. It's personal. It's not your business. It's my job to entertain you and bring these issues. It is not my job to think this, but I'm going through it, and thanks for the support. That's it. Bringing Candace Owen into that. You know what you do with Candace Owen? You wait on that one. You wait. And you play that little video that you just played now because you already blew your load when she's having a little problem.
Yeah.
That's what you do. You wait. But, here's the thing. What did he say? That he was having feelings about his sexuality in like 18 or 19 or something like that? Or
something like
20s?
that. I know he said something like that, yeah.
Which is going to make, maybe it is. Like, I think that can happen to you and you cannot be gay. I'm sure some people go through that. I mean,
of course.
God, I grew up in the 80s where everybody in England dressed up in black and like was androgynous. That was like a thing for a while. Just like this transgender thing,
Yeah.
Did you ever watch Sprockets with Mike Myers making fun of the Germans? Thank you, Verst. I was the old way divorce technology moved 30 miles away. Yeah, that's the best. There was a whole thing. So yeah, sure. I'm sure it doesn't make you gay, but here's the thing about this jackass is he probably is one of these guys, if I had to guess, is virtue signaled about on family. And he doesn't know anything about family because he's barely out of his 20s.
Yeah.
That's it. He doesn't know anything. He just knows the conservative, there's a white picket fence and a wife, and she's loyal to me. And nothing can go wrong if I'm a good person. You can be a great person. It can all go wrong.
Of course.
She could be a good person with married you, become a bad one, and it's not your fault. You could become a complete self-serving, egomaniac, money-grubbing prick, and she might go apart. There's a million scenarios. This idea, you have to be so brain dead, so stupid, so ignorant, and you're incapable of learning if you believe for a second. And I'm not going to say it doesn't play any part in it. I mean, if you marry a crackhead, okay. That just picking the wrong pick. My lottery number didn't come up. That's so stupid and childish. I can't believe, I have arcades behind me. I'm saying this is stupid and childish, and it is. It doesn't make me any less right. Oh my God, what a dipshit.
Media or on this show or in any public space is not what's best for them. I'll be handling this through the proper legal avenues. And
I can say whatever I
as
want.
A matter of
you have
record.
You are no legal grounds to say anything. Anything.
In which I have more than full confidence. So I'd ask that you understand the need for and respect our privacy. And
you did everything to encourage people to fucking violate that. And it was going to happen either way, and now you made it 20 times worse.
What is obviously a pretty tough time. And I hope...
I will say this. I don't wish a hard time on him. I don't. He's 100% right about the kids.
Oh, we do.
And Candace Owen is a miserable witch. Still think she's hot. I still want to bang her, but
oh God, she's beautiful.
No. I think about her all the time.
Yeah.
But yeah, I wouldn't want to be married to her. You know what I mean?
No.
All these, they have their own purity test over here. They're just as bad as these conservatives are, the lefties are worse with their purity tests. And guess what? I failed the purity test. So they're like, no, man, it's more complicated than that. There's a little more nuance to it than that. Like relationships. That's the thing about relationships. They don't respond to logic. So you could do everything that Connor tells you and still fail. Really. All the knowledge in the world. I wonder how many love doctors are divorced. Psychiatrists. How many psychiatrists are divorced? Well, I know you come in for couples therapy and he's been divorced twice. I'm sure that happens a lot.
Yeah.
I'm sure.
Well, how many psychiatrists are completely insane?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Well, I sent you an article, by the way, Tommy, real quick, before you move on. Okay. It's an older article from 2015.
Oh, Jesus. Ooh, nice looking broad. Holy shit. Waiting till the wedding night, getting married. It didn't work, Connor!
Oops.
There must have been some awkward sex that first night. Me and my wife fucked like rabbits before we got.
That must have been so. She must have been so disappointed.
It's probably a lie too.
I don't know if I. Yeah, I don't know.
It's probably bullshit on boot. I had a buddy that said he did it, right? And he's still to this day and he's what I would call a legit Christian dude, right? He's really. And I remember because the reason I know this is because some sergeant was lightening him up over some stupid. This guy was a real disgusting SOB, this NCO, right? And he started weighing into his sexuality, right? Which nowadays would probably get him in serious trouble. But this is just in the Army when you could just walk to the door with that shit. And he says, he goes, is that? And he was like, is that right? Is that right, specialist? What, you don't like women? You don't like fucking women? And he's like, no. So what are you, a queer specialist? And he's like, no, I'm Christian. And boy, he shut up quick, the sergeant, after that. And that's right. He started calling him a virgin. Are you a virgin? Are you doing Reverend Specialist Smith? Are you a virgin? And he said, yes, I am. Like proudly, right? So a couple years later, that sergeant, a lot of people told that guy he was way fucking out of line, and that Specialist Smith could have probably raised that up a level, that this crossed the line. So that same guy, 5 years later, is driving me to drill over here in Germany. And I mentioned the situation. I was like, that take a lot of balls for you to do. And I hated that NC. I'm glad you did that. I'm sure that wasn't easy. It was easy as hell. I was fucking my girlfriend left and right. He goes, I legitimately tried not to sleep with her, and we didn't. We didn't for a long time, but it happened. You know what I mean? And it probably happened way less than most people.
I genuinely think people who wait to marry, there's some homosexual.
No, I don't think for him it wasn't. No, for him it was his faith. For him it was his faith. I know this guy personally. By the way,
I don't know, man. That urge.
No, but he did. He cracked. He told me he lied.
Exactly.
He cracked, right? But he still wanted to wear that, that ribbon, I suppose. Well, interesting. He got divorced and he's gone. He left Germany. Yeah, I remember.
It's the most important part of the relationship. It's like, how are you going to marry a woman you don't know what you've never slept with? It's strange.
I don't know. I don't know about that. I think everybody does things different.
Maybe.
I'm not going to jump on Christians for trying it. But I just appreciated his he cracked. But I don't think that fucked up his marriage either way. Yeah. The fact that he cracked. I don't think if he didn't do it, I don't think it would have made a difference. And he did do it.
I think you're about to witness a really hard fall with Steven Crowder. Yes,
that's what
I think it's going to get really bad.
I think a bunch of texts are going to come out. He's been having an affair with a man or something.
Yeah, it's going to get really bad.
Steven Crowder was Connor.
I can't wait. I hate him so much.
Steven Crowder was Connor before Connor. We think the winner was getting married, isn't it him? How do you know if you like blowjobs or not? So ridiculous. What I'm saying is this: if that's your thing, I respect it. That's not your thing, I respect it. Yeah, whatever. You do you. I won't even go as far as Joey. Joey. I don't. It's not the most important part of the relationship, by the way. Money is. That's the truth. All right, let's get back to the main topic of today. American fugitive Nicholas Rossi, who faked his own death and fled to the UK to avoid rape charges. What is this, RGRFC show? Rape charges stems from his glasses up with rage. And he tells a Dateline he can't walk while insisting he's a Brit called, this is the greatest name ever, Arthur Knight. Like that's it's
of
just
the
like,
round table.
What kind of knight? Well, the Knights of the Round King Arthur Knight. That's what I'll call myself. What a stupid fucking name to pick.
Yeah. He got a cat called Excalibur as well.
Does he really?
No.
He's got a fucking gerbil named Merlin.
You have to see, like, here's how we did this. This is the kind of content we always wanted to do. When we the last season, Joey comes to me, he's like, you got to cover this. And I'm like, why? Because on the surface, like, oh, crazy stuff like this, but you got to see this guy. I am not Nicholas. What is his little name?
Abellini or something.
I can't say that.
Aliberi or something?
Aliberi. I do not know how to make this clear. He told NBC in a bizarre accident and muffled with his oxygen mask over his nose. Okay. Yeah, you got to see this. This gets fucking wild. So let me get this straight. He was Nicholas Oliverian. Then he changed his name to Nicholas Rossi. Then he faked his own death. And then when he started to get a treatment with COVID, because I guess he had long COVID or something like that, that's how they figured out who he was. Am I on to something? Am I correct?
Yeah.
And in the meantime, he's wanted in the States.
Yes.
For like sexual assault, right?
For being an Augie RFC topic. That's what we're going to. I can say R word. We're just going to say Augie topic.
You know what's really funny? Like, look at if you scroll down, he says he can't walk, but look at the bottom of his shoes where he's in that wheelchair. You can actually see all the scuff marks on his shoes. Like,
that's a good point.
Like, look, I know that's some weird like.
These would be pristine.
Look, scroll down. In the wheelchair. Look at his bottom of his shoes. They're scuffed up there.
You're right. And especially, you know what wouldn't be? Like, I could see the part he puts his wheelchair, but not the tips.
Exactly.
Oh, that's a good point. And this is him when he was in the state. The U.S. now seeks to extradite him from a number of SA charges, admit the accusation he raped a 21 Jahr alt Frau. In 2008, was a long time ago.
15 years.
This is a mugshot. He looks really creepy there, huh?
He looks like a complete psycho.
He really does. Yeah, I don't think God gave him COVID and saved him for a reason. All right, let's go back. This is from a year ago. Check this out.
He's a wanted sex offender with ties to the Bay Area. So how was he able to fake his own
Bay Area down in Florida, that Bay Area, not the other one.
Death and pass himself off under multiple assumed identities? The story of this criminal con man began nearly 2 decades ago at a children's facility in
What am I doing?
Manatee County. 8 on your side, senior investigator Walt Buteau joins us.
I know if this guy was a YouTuber, we would have fucked his channel up.
From our Tampa News Center with more.
Nicholas Rossi craved fame and founded as a self-proclaimed crusader for children's rights. He's now locked up in a Scottish prison facing extradition on a rape charge 18 years after he claimed he was sexually assaulted.
Why did he move to Scotland if he took a name like Arthur Knight and wait till the phony accent? It's great. You know.
Did you think like Scottish people wouldn't like pick up on the accent as much?
Yeah, but that's the thing, the argument we're having before. We'll get into it. Like, how could his wife not know? Because his wife is clearly, she looks British.
She's a con artist as well.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. All right, this is him like back in 2008 or 7? I'm guessing. Let's see. Let's watch this. Okay.
Children's rights. Yeah. He's now locked up in a Scottish prison facing extradition on a rape charge 18 years after he claimed he was sexually assaulted in Bradenton.
I paid in blood.
Nicholas Rossi talked in dramatic terms with me a decade ago about this federal lawsuit that named several defendants, including the Florida Agency for Healthcare Administration. In 2004, a teenaged Rossi was placed in a
He's like fucking 19 years ago.
Bradenton Children's Psychiatric Hospital by Rhode Island's version of DCF. He alleged he was assaulted within the first 2 weeks of the placement in Florida and abused in other facilities in other states, according to the lawsuit that ended with an...
I tell you, any kid I knew that went to like foster home or like one of those shelters or something, it was all rape.
Yeah.
It was all rape. Yeah.
Undisclosed settlement.
Your worst nightmare, multiply it by 5,000. There were rapes, there were beatings.
Well, his teeth's fucking perfect to be British.
Yeah, he's got the teeth.
But 4 years after he was living in Bradenton, Rossi was convicted of sexually assaulting a woman in Ohio.
Oh.
Then 2 years ago, he faked his own death to escape a legal noose involving claims of nearly $200,000 in credit card fraud and an alleged 2008 rape in Utah.
We believe that wherever he's been, there's potentially other victims.
Utah County Prosecutor David Levitt is now trying to extradite Rossi from Scotland, where he was arrested last month in a hospital while on a ventilator with COVID-19.
Everybody wished it had killed him.
Rossi had used a half dozen aliases while he was on the...
How did they figure it out over there? Because he had to, like, do you have to show a card when you go to the doctor over there? Like, what, or something? And they were, you're not even fucking Scottish. Like, well,
you can get treated. You can get treated, like, and not even give your name.
Yeah, but what if you live there? Are you there for because he got COVID?
Yeah, no, he would have had to give his name. Like, Interpol probably had his like alias.
Oh, really?
They've put him in the system. It's flagged up on some system, and Interpol have been like, "Oh, we've got him."
Run, according to investigators. And he even ordered an ambulance to try to leave that Scottish hospital on his own. That plot was foiled, but then...
I love this guy. I know he's a terrible person, but I want to like him.
Yes, mate, I want to love this guy. I love a good scam artist, like, but it's the rape that puts me off.
Oh, yeah, no, rape stuff.
On Thursday, he did...
That sounds like a Connor take. Rape is bad.
Not show up for his first extradition hearing. Do you believe his claims from his past?
There's no way for me to know that.
But Levitt says more than 30 years of criminal justice tells him this.
Today's perpetrators are almost always yesterday's victims. Almost always. And so the likelihood that he was in fact a victim as a child is high. But it doesn't change the fact that he is a danger and needs to be kept from the general population.
Rossi was initially released on bail in Scotland, but was ordered...
I got to be honest, I don't give a fuck. And I could say that. Because I've coughed to this. I don't care how many... I don't care if you've been raped fucking 7,000 times. You're not allowed to touch anybody else.
That's no excuse. Like, Jesus Christ.
I don't give a rat's monkey's ass. I don't mean shit. If anything, you should know better.
Yeah.
And I believe a thing you're more likely to. Doesn't it? Yeah, sure. Okay. So what?
Yeah.
So what?
It's not an excuse.
The thing, right, is I don't know if they're trying to garner sympathy because it's more or less like...
Yeah, I don't think they are either.
The rape?
But here's the thing.
Is he lying about being raped? So
because he's a con artist. He might have lied about
that too. Yeah, I mean, he started a major lawsuit. Maybe it was a cash-in plan. You know?
Yeah,
who knows?
What the guy's saying is like, look, if he's sexual assaulted before, therefore, like, I could totally believe he was sexually assaulted himself.
I know. You know what it is? You're right. You're 100% right. That guy wasn't trying to garner sympathy, but I can't, like, when I hear it, it just sends all the bells off. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I don't want, you know what it is? I don't want to hear that. And maybe I need to hear that. Maybe because that's true, you know? But, like, fuck off. I don't care. It's like one of those things. It's true, but I don't care. You know.
Today, after missing that extradition hearing, Stacey.
Well, do we have any idea of what that hearing today was like?
It was crazy.
Like, you know the guy that killed his whole family in the Amityville Horror?
Yeah.
You know, there's pretty strong evidence that his father was a monster. Who cares?
Yeah, exactly.
Glad he's dead.
There's zero evidence that there was a ghost in the house.
Yeah.
According to reports,
he just died, by the way, a couple months ago.
The Scottish Sun, that publication reports there was a standoff Thursday with police using a battering ram to get Alaverdian out of an apartment. He was wanted in a Utah rape case under his birth name, Nicholas Rossi, but today...
He's just like, and he's probably got the same thing. He's just like Futuristic Club. There's no quit, you know?
Yeah. He reportedly appeared in court with a towel over his head and denied he is Rossi.
Lot to follow there. All right, Walt Buteau.
She can't even believe it. Lot to follow. Like, this is like, Walt, I thought you were full of shit. She's laughing on the inside, like me. All right, this is a 5-minute video until we get to the creme de la creme. This is Sky News.
His extradition case has rolled through the courts for months.
This was 8 months ago, by the way.
Bad at explaining things.
Captain Pooper's funded $5. He's Jason Bourne. He is. He's amazing.
Calls himself Arthur Knight, Glasgow-based.
Arthur Knight. You could have picked the worst name. Like, that's a name you would like come up with as a goof. You know.
I know.
And married to Miranda. U.S. authorities say he is in fact
Arthur Knight. Why would you do an English accent? I bet, I guarantee you. You know why he picked the English accent? Because Scottish is too hard.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah.
Nicholas Rossi.
Fucking talk like Green Man. You want to talk like Green Man? Good luck.
I always thinking like he'd done the English accent and chose to live in Scotland because Scottish people, so he could get away with the accent more. Because people in England would be like, that accent's not fucking real. Yeah. What are you doing?
Yeah, they wouldn't. Yeah, oh, that's probably it. But God, you guys aren't that far apart. You know what I mean?
Like, I don't know. Like, it feels like they'd be able to pinpoint, like, all right, that guy's putting on a fucking act.
Yeah, I think the Scots would pick up on it too.
I just get about him. Look at those glasses are ridiculous.
Yeah, he's like I'm gonna dress like he's dressing like they did in the 40s.
I think Matt said it earlier. Like he kind of looks like Winston Churchill. Like he's
he's like fucking Winston Churchill. He looks like he watched one Colossal's Crazy video.
Yeah, I know.
Like, okay, I could do that.
I could do this. Well, that's the whole thing I want to get here because this is what I always said about John Swan. This is a hyper case of that. This is, I can do this! This is what this is. Just watch.
And they want him extradited to stand trial.
The prosecution narrative is that you are an alleged rapist. There are restraining orders, assaults, fraud in a very colourful criminal record that reflects a dangerous sexual predator. Are you that man? Are you Nicholas Rossi?
I can.
No, I'm Nicholas Abernathy. What was the other?
Alaverdi.
Oh no, because Alaverdi is stupid. It's Arthur Knight. It's got in quotations.
To please say that I have not ever once.
I have not ever once made a trip to the United States of America. Oh, Jesus Christ!
You merely adopted Arthur Knight. I was born and molded by it.
Despite his denials, America wants to extradite a man they say has more than a dozen aliases. He's accused of faking his own death, complete with a hoax obituary and a call to a priest.
It's like Tucker Carlson there.
It's like Catch Me If You Can, but with rape.
Yeah, the other guy was just stealing money.
Yeah. She sounded like Hyacinth Bouquet, a very high-pitched English woman's accent.
Father Bernard Healy agreed to a request to hold him.
Father Healy, we're already on this particular subject here.
Memorial Mass until the
Bernard Healy
police stepped in.
The detective said to me he thought it was Nicholas using a voice disguise.
Our Lady of Mercy should Father Bernard Healy. Why are they asking his priest in Long Island? That's so strange.
An international manhunt took police to this hospital.
I know that son of a bitch. He's probably like an old school cool priest, And he's like, yeah, I know that SOP. He's like my priest, Father Crowley. He was fucking awesome. Showed me a fucking he's like, yeah, I heard you're interested in Ireland hurling. I was like, yeah, Father. He's like, I'll show you something. So he brought me back to his car and he pulled out this fucking badass hurling stick. And he said, that's really cool, Father Crowley, man. I wish I grew up in Ireland where I could play that game. He goes, you know what else is good about it? You can beat the blacks with it if they try to take your car. He didn't say exactly that. I got into it, but it was something along those lines. Yeah. He didn't say the blacks.
Last December, The man calling himself Arthur Knight had caught COVID. While he lay on a ventilator, officers
looks like fucking Sam Hyde.
were alerted to
does look
tattoos
like Sam
on his
Hyde.
body. A court would later be told that fingerprints showed a match to Nicholas Rossi.
Did it? What incredible... What are the odds of that, Joe?
Oh my god. Did he look? It's the most hilarious part. He's claiming like the tattooed him while he was unconscious.
Oh, that's great. That's fantastic. There's no.
So wait, if the fingerprints match, why the fuck is he not in handcuffs right now?
Probably.
Well, you got to go through the court. I mean, you can't just arrest him on the spot. He's in prison.
And I bet being sick under English law, they can't lock him up in certain areas. They're so different over here about locking him
fucking
up.
fingerprints match.
Yeah, I know. It's all. It was a smart move to go to Europe. I got to be honest.
I guess so, bro, because that wouldn't fly.
Yeah, they just wheel your wheelchair right to jail.
Yeah, he'd wake up with handcuffs connected to his hospital bed. Like,
is there a statute of limitations on rape?
Yes, and I think that's why they're rushing on it. And it depends on the state.
I thought they changed the. Well, this is.
It depends on the state.
I mean, I think they changed the law. I think they changed the law in a lot of states, though.
Yeah, but it's not unlimited. It's not like murder. Maybe it's 30 years or something.
I think, but I'm saying.
But I tell you something. When I was a kid, most of the time it's 15, and it's already been more than 15. So.
Oh, great! Now
we're coming up on 15.
Rape. Awesome.
Yeah. So that's why he may be waiting out the clock.
You know what state it was?
Ohio.
Florida. No, Ohio.
Yeah,
Ohio.
2008. We could look at like a 6-month window to get him over there. So
that'd be amazing. It's like a race against time to get him back.
Yeah, I know.
Of the wanted man in America, a campaigner for child welfare reform who once posed for a photo with former Vice President Mike Pence.
This guy's amazing. Want to see my stick again, Father Crowley?
He's going to get hit with so many charges. He'll get done for the rape. He'll get done for the credit card fraud. He'll get done for like thingies, well, faking his death. This man's facing over 20 years. Gotta be.
Yeah, sure.
So it's 6 years, I think. I think it's 6 years, but there is an exception if a suspect purposefully avoids prosecution.
Oh, he did that, so they can just keep it going forever. Okay.
Yeah, I feel like faking your own death is purposefully prosecution.
That's so funny. That's too funny. He faked his own death. This was only 2 years ago. He faked. So
you've got to be committed to do the accent.
This is his sex offender picture. Right here.
He looks like an offender.
Fucking that's
no. There's something like you staring. Like look at his eyes. He's staring right through you. I know that's not scientific.
If I was like, if you showed me that picture and goes like, guess what this man did? I'd guess either murder or sexual assault.
I don't like to do the whole look at his eyes thing, but you are right. His eyes.
No, it's not. I'm just saying that like that's bullshit. Anybody that says to you this guy must be a murderer, look at his eyes. I'm not saying it, but boy, this shoe really fits here. You know, it's a very.
I loved it when they used to do that to Onision. Look at his eyes, man.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, he has like amazing blue eyes. You know, like these really weird, exotic looking blue eyes. Yeah, look at his eyes. All right, like that's stupid with Onision. Onision's innocent, by the way. I hate to say it. He's innocent. He's guilty of being a schmuck, and he paid the penalty for it. One of the few.
These images compare to the man facing extradition.
Could you take your glasses off? Would you mind? And are you able to take off your mask?
Looks exactly like that guy. Blue eyes and everything.
You reckon he's that much of a psycho? He gained weight on purpose.
I think that's what. Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, smart. And they're all that fish and chips will do that to you over there.
Should have dyed his hair blonde.
Yeah, that would have been. They'd be seen right through that.
Been like Milo Yiannopoulos.
I mean, he's even putting on
the thing is, I got to be honest here, like, he looks Italian. Like, you really could see that he's Italian. You know, like, even there.
The eyebrows are the same.
I'm sorry. I don't know what I could do.
Not that accent, though.
I think Van Dyke did a better job of Mary Poppins.
Why didn't he just go to a country where there's no extradition from the USA?
Why didn't he go to bloody like Guatemala or like something? You know what I mean?
It's probably hard to make money there. You could live off the fucking government in England.
Yeah, well, that's why he's doing like this. Like, oh, I can't walk. He's like scamming the benefit system.
Yeah,
Do you know what I mean?
It's better to scam. It's easier to scam in Europe than it is.
Yeah.
And you can't scam Guatemala. They got no system. You know?
Exactly. Yeah.
I'm kind of impressed because I don't see how you can fake a death, go to a new country, have your own citizenship, all this stuff in 2023.
The fingerprints match, the tattoos match
for the wife.
You know,
that's what he's done with the wife. I guarantee that wife. They're not even banging. They're not like she's got a deal. I'm going to put you up. You can live free. We'll scam the benefits. We'll get money. You just marry me for the green card.
Yeah.
But he had to have known a guy that could get him there, all that.
I gotta be honest. I talked to some Irish guys back home, and he said the easiest way to get in is to get talk to guys that on boats. So if you live in these that's the way to do it. If you could talk to somebody, let's say somebody's got a regular trip from New Jersey to London, which by the way they exist. If you could sneak on that boat for a couple of days, you're good. Don't
forget the guy who's a notorious credit card scammer. He knows how to create a fake identity.
Yeah, that's another. Yeah, he knows how to do that. Yeah, I bet he got a boat he probably got a job on a boat that they don't check any kind of idea for it's kind of we'll pay you cash. You don't fucking say anything. It's all under the table. You don't say anything.
If I worked on one of those ships, there's some bloke come up to me and goes, I'll give you $5,000 if you sneak me on this ship. I'll be like, go on then.
Yeah, sure. Or how about this? I'll pay you $5,000 to clean the boat on the trip to England.
Yeah,
no questions asked. You know, I need a guy over here. I'll give you $1,000 for the thing, and then you'll be off your own. You have $2-3 grand going into, and you're on your own. After that, I won't ask any questions. It probably happened. That's what these Irish guys told me. That's the one. They're always told if it was too easy to come by plane. But if they had to get back home or if they had to get back in the States, that's the way they would do it.
Yeah.
The man we interviewed has a small scar to the side of his right eye. Images on the Interpol Red Notice show a man with a scar in a similar place. In his Glasgow flat, we asked about the similarity.
You have a scar in the same place. Can you explain that?
No, I can't. And either they're photoshopped or...
Every police image.
I'm not entirely certain. Those are authentic police images.
The same Interpol notice shows tattoos on both arms. In Glasgow, we were shown 4 arms but couldn't see any body art.
Wow, that's him.
That didn't convince Brian.
That's him.
Coogan, a former state representative in Rhode Island who knew the man wanted by police for more than 20 years. We brought the man in Glasgow together with the man in Massachusetts in a video call.
How you doing, Nick?
I'm not doing a FaceTime call with someone I don't know.
He's calling you Nick. This is a man who knew Nicholas Rossi for 21 years.
Nick, you owe me $20. I didn't forget.
Yeah.
Give me Nicky. You owe me money.
Hey, Nick, you remember you raped that girl on 4th Street?
Yeah.
He won't even look at the camera. He won't even look at it.
No, he won't even look at it. Well, he is. He's doing that side look. He's pretending to look away, but look at the...
Yeah.
Yeah, he's doing that move.
Enjoy it.
Look at his 2 biceps. He has a barcode on one and a bird feather on the other. Is he willing to show you his arms?
I'm not taking off my jacket.
Are you? Would you? Is that something you would do? Would you show us your arms?
I've shown you.
Yeah, she has to know. There's no way she's this stupid.
Yeah, she's in on it. She's she's the reason he's in the country. The green card. Yeah. She's the
your biceps.
Yeah, I will.
She'll throw him under the bus so fast, though.
This conversation.
The man calling himself Arthur Knight married his wife.
Why did he wear that hat? Well, I mean, all right.
Everyone in England wears that hat when they get married.
When they married? Oh, really? Because they have the same tradition here in Hessen.
Yeah.
All right.
Everyone wears
the hat makes sense because they have the same. But nobody does it anymore. I just wanted to do it for Andy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everybody does it in England.
Yeah. Okay.
Pretty much.
I didn't know everyone in England was a fat.
Wife using the name Nicholas Brown 2.5 years ago. Miranda has stood by him throughout the police pursuit.
They would have it that you yourself are a victim of a con man and a criminal.
Believe me, if any case gets flown my way, I'll be a victim all you want. I can't believe he lied to me. I guarantee it. I can't tell what's worse, the vocal fry or the accent. The voice is so cringe. Holy shit, I'd rather turn myself in and rot in prison. Me too.
Oh, well, I'd rather rot in prison than be married to that mess.
What do you mean? She keeps her mouth shut. You can fight a woman like that. She's ride or die. No, she'll
I guess.
From my point of view, I have felt the safest I have ever felt to my husband with
She's English. She's not Scottish.
Yeah.
But she looks Irish.
Alpha. There is.
Look at those teeth.
All right, calm down.
No, she's English. All right, yeah, look at that. She's like a double vampire. Look at that.
Any type of abuse.
Your teeth are fine. Relax.
He shows love. He shows patience. I never feel unsafe.
Is the game up for you?
Yeah, because you can throw him back. This guy walks around my apartment all fucking day.
The game has just started. The game is afoot.
Oh my God, he really said that?
He was convicted of abusing staff in a Glasgow hospital. Since we interviewed him, he's been remanded.
He should have said elementary, my dear Watson. Like, why not?
The game is afoot.
The game's afoot.
And in custody. An extradition court will decide when that ends and where. James Matthews, Sky News.
Like, how do you, like, watch this and say, oh boy, I nailed it?
Oh my God.
Like, how do you, all right, this is what brought him to, like, this is what brought him
This is
to,
the most hilarious thing I've ever seen in my life.
The interview isn't out yet, but these are like, the Sun's got a sense of humor because they probably pissed. I can't imagine. Do you imagine? This interview might even be better than we think.
Yeah.
But this is hilarious. I mean, look at the way he's dressed. He's like a bow tie? Like I don't live far from England. They don't.
Nobody dresses like that. Like, nobody. He's like a Downton Abbey extra. It's insane.
I know what you mean. None of the Americans will though. It's too funny. All right, here, watch this. This is great.
We were once a normal family, but thanks to the media, our lives have been interrupted. And
I think it's thanks to your rape victim.
Like privacy, and I would like to go back to being a normal husband.
You, Harry, and Meghan.
But I can't, because I can't breathe. I can't walk. People say that's an act. Let me try to stand up. Let me try to stand up. Exactly.
This is so comic. They should make a movie about this. This is amazing.
This literally feels like a British skit.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, it does.
Like Saturday Night Live or something.
Yeah.
Right?
Exactly.
What do you say to someone who believes that you are Nicholas Alaverdian?
I am not Andrea. I am not Nicholas.
I'm convinced. You know.
And I do not know how to make this clearer.
What do you say to people who say these are crocodile tears? He's putting on a show. This is all an act.
Oh,
Andrea,
no,
that's a low blow. That's a right low blow.
That's a right low blow.
Right.
Fucking idiot.
Like, yeah, wait a minute. That's it's just you people talk weird. And the Emmy goes to nope, not him. It sucks.
Not him, yeah.
It sucks.
Oh my God.
I don't know how much more I can take of this, but let's do it. There's some
Out
funny
on
stuff here,
bail,
too.
awaiting his next extradition hearing.
Who are you?
I am Arthur Knight, and this is my wife.
I am Arthur Knight.
Miranda Knight, and unfortunately,
you know what it is? He's kind of like fucking. It really reminds me a lot of Futuristic Cubs Trial, right? But this shows you like not all psychopaths are smart because he's not particularly bright. But what people are like what did Verse just write? Like, why not just turn yourself in? It's like it's getting ridiculous.
Yeah.
Like these guys don't have any shame because psychopaths, right? So they'll just like they win because they're absolute like never say die, never quit attitude. It shows you never give up. It really works, you know, like the platforming. It works. Just never give up. That's what psychopaths do. They never quit.
there are those who would claim differently.
Are you Nicholas Rossi?
No.
Are you
that is
Nicholas
completely
Alaverdian?
insane. Absolutely not.
Are you Nicholas Brown?
Yeah. When you say, why don't you knock off that stupid accent, you asshole? Nobody will say that.
Yeah.
They're too polite in your country, you know.
I'd love to rip the mask off his face and to push him onto the floor. But it turns out he's actually like he's not the guy like killing.
It'd be funny if like a bunch of like Rangers hooligans break in there and start pushing him around and shit, you know. Like you fucking yank.
How funny would it be though if this guy is telling the truth, like you know, because there's like there is like a 1 in a billion chance like your fingerprints do match with someone. Imagine if he's telling the truth, like
and the DNA matches, and the tattoos match, and the scar in his eye matches, and all his old friends recognize him. Yeah, there's a chance. You know, I'll take that bet. You know that he's not him. The footage of a literal human cockroach. You can rip his limbs off. Yeah, I just wish somebody like local would fuck with him.
Why
you know?
he changed his name from Nicholas to Arthur. He replied because it was a...
sounds more English. like, you know, you ever see Excalibur, the movie? It's cool.
associated with bad childhood experiences in Northern Ireland. Miranda, who claims...
He's saying he's Northern Irish?
That's he's saying he was born there and he moved to England.
Even the Northern, there is a difference between the Northern Irish Protestant and Catholic accent, but it still sounds pretty Irish. Doesn't sound English.
No, but he's saying he moved to England when he was a kid. That's why he's got English accent. You know what I mean?
Okay, all right.
She married her husband in Bristol 2 years ago.
And none of them, nobody remembers him back from Northern Ireland? I really want it. He has no record of going to school there. I mean, unbelievable.
Says she was there when Police Scotland arrested her husband in hospital as he recovered from COVID. Arrivals to court for bail hearings were in a wheelchair. An oxygen mask remained on throughout this interview at their Glasgow home.
I nearly died.
Then why are you speaking so much?
I nearly died, and we are...
It don't matter if you rape somebody in America if you nearly died. It doesn't matter at all.
Terrified. How can I be a flight risk if I can't even stand?
The electric wheelchair is not a prop. There's no faking of this illness.
This is a case of mistaken identity.
You say you've never been to the United States?
Never in my life.
They claimed in court...
You think like he's fucked. Like just eventually he's gonna be in the States. He is thinking something right now.
Yeah.
Getting out of this right now. Because he could do this. He's got a pat.
Imagine if he disappears again. That'd be amazing. Like
Arthur, that was my American twin brother, Nicholas.
You were identified from tattoos?
That is not true. There is no evidence whatsoever.
Other than tattoos?
There are tattoos, and I've shown that to news reporter after news reporter.
In this interview with a US network, he did agree to roll up one sleeve.
It was up further, right? And have you had any tattoos removed?
The man wanted in America.
You'd be able to see that, right? If somebody had a tattoo removed, that doesn't.
No, they're really good at it now.
Oh, really? Yeah, boy. When I was a kid, it just fucked up your. You're better off keeping the tattoo, even if it was a swastika.
To face a rape charge is known to have multiple tattoos.
He's done quite a masterful job of hiding himself from the law.
Prosecutors in Utah say Nicholas Rossi, also
hiding himself, yes, getting caught, he's not too good at.
Known as Alaverdian, is believed to have used at least 16 different aliases.
16 aliases? No, typos.
These are very serious charges at this man.
16 typos. Typos. I was Alaverdian, I was Knight, I was Brown, I was Mr. Smith, I was Sam, I am. All typos.
They claim this man faked his own death to evade those charges. Did you fake your own death?
Even John List gave up. He killed his whole family.
We're sitting having a conversation. I've never been dead to anyone.
After so many years, I know him inside out. I know my husband does not have
the exact amount that he's been disappearing from the States.
Tendencies as a rapist.
He is going to be.
So, you know, me and Dave know a guy in the army that fucking killed a dude, put him in a car, set the car on fucking fire in South Africa, and pretended it was him. You know that?
Oh shit!
Yeah. Me and Dave, he was our NCO. We were friendly with Dave. Used to play chess with him, and I did a big detail with him in Iraq. And then I remember him like wanting to get out so bad, and then he killed somebody. Nobody knows who it is to this day. Set the car on fire and tried to fake his own death.
Jesus.
Yeah, in South Africa, yeah.
So he's doing life in South Africa?
Yes.
Oh, God.
Yes, he is. I always found that I was like in his trial, and his trial says, I made a really big mistake. I don't know, like drunk driving's a big mistake.
Yeah,
you know? Like that.
Those prisons in South Africa are so dangerous.
Well, he got toughened up in the army. I'm sure he'll be fine.
Yeah. Very large team on the pitch to try to say that I am a rapist, because not only are we terrified,
Princess Fergie, yes,
because this is a vicious lie, but we are also
like, it's so embarrassing that the glasses that he's doing.
Incredibly disgusted by the fact that we now have to live our lives in a secretive way, because my wife can't even walk down the pavement to get a pint of milk. And it can.
Do you say pint of milk in UK?
No, you said bottle of milk.
You say bottle, yeah, that's what I thought.
Nobody says, I'm going to get a pint of milk.
We're having that moment in, what was that movie?
Look, it's like he's purposely using the word pint to sound
pint,
English.
yeah, because we don't say pint when give me a glass of beer. We don't say pint.
You know what blokes in England use pint for? When you get to the pub, I'm having a pint.
You know who says pint in the States? Like craft beer assholes. That's the only guy that say pint.
If somebody said to me, like the missus or something was like, "Oh, can you go and get a pint of milk?" I'm like, "What? What are you talking about?"
Milk. Pint
call it a jug. Get a milk jug.
Yeah,
pint means a beer.
Yeah, literally, that's the only time you use it.
Remember when you ordered 2 beers and I thought one was for me, and then you said no, they're both for me, and you took them away. I'm just wondering.
Secretive way, but you're now speaking to various media outlets, including
2 pints, mate. Oh, thanks, Joey. Oh no, they're both for me.
Why? What is the purpose then of this interview?
That was a good time.
A section of this interview was shown to Brian Coogan, who almost adopted a teenage Nicholas Alaverdian.
Really?
Both were involved in local politics in Rhode Island, with Alaverdian becoming a critic of the state's child welfare system.
I'm 100%
probably a scam too.
Sure that it's Nicholas Alaverdian. I will bet
Brian Coogan, stupid Irish.
50,000.
This is a typical like New England Irish guy right here.
Yeah.
$1 cash on it, and I'll put the cash up. That is Nicholas Alaverdian, and the more that he says it's not him, and the more that he tries to.
That guy's probably like not mobbed up, but connected.
Yeah, that guy looks like someone who'd like kneecap you. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. I guarantee he knows. Like, yeah, that's what he looks like.
Play a game. The more I want
to go to Brian Coogan. He'll take care of it.
Yeah,
that guy's a psychopath. Fucking stabbed a guy with a pencil once.
I come to Scotland. I have 5 boys. He's almost like my sixth child. You know when your child's lying to you. I mean, his own father.
He adopted him to pull some kind of fucking scam, and it didn't work out. That's what happened. You know, everybody's a crook. You know,
you're sure that's him?
Well, that's my son. There he is, right there. My son.
There he is.
Yeah, play Nicky.
It's Nicky. Hey,
Nicky. But it's him.
It's a game of chess that Nick's playing. And at the end, he's going to be checkmate out. Guaranteed.
The case returns to court for the next stage of extradition proceedings in April.
I'm going to send this to Brandon. This reminds me so much of Futuristic Cub.
And May, when the prosecution say the
in England too.
Issue of identity,
and it worked,
will be resolved. Sharon Frew, STV News.
And that's the thing. If you guys keep fucking handling this shit, there's going to be more Americans scamming everybody running to England. If this keeps working, you know. You invite
what do you think every asylum seeker comes to the UK?
It's just ridiculous.
I'm now on the prowl for a British woman to marry, so I can
right. Yeah.
A word of warning: this podcast
whatever gets me there.
Oh, Jesus Christ! Anything else?
Well, as for this topic, no. But I got the AOC thing. If you wanted to look at that,
yeah, sure. I'll take a look at this.
Yeah, it's in your DMs.
Just the platform.
You gotta scroll up a bit.
Yeah, Willie, she's a Nazi. Like, she's a Nazi.
Yeah.
That's what she was, and so she always was, always is.
Good looking Nazi, though.
Yeah, oh, God. Kick her out of the crackers.
Tucker Carlson is.
And here's another thing. Let me debunk her fucking working class story, all right? She comes from a working class family that moved to a nice white neighborhood. Was it Yorktown? I think was it not Hasbrook Heights. I can't remember. Now I forget the fucking town she's from, New York. It's basically the same fucking town I grew up in. It's actually a little richer, right? Not that she had the money or money, but she grew up as white as me. It's all bullshit. You know what she went by back then? Sandy Cortez. You know, because white people can say that. They can say Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez. You know, this whole thing with her is an act. You saw it when she pretended she saw fucking children. She holding on to the cage down in Texas. You saw it when she pretended she was arrested when she wasn't. Like they're gonna arrest a congressperson. Who are you fucking kidding? She's dumb as a brick.
Is out at Fox News. Couldn't have happened to a better guy. What I will say though is, while I'm very glad that the person that was arguably responsible for some of the largest, driving some of the most amounts of death threats, and
you know, this is good. Like literally, Gamergate has become like mainstream because this is what you're trying. Like I make a crazy public statement. I have crazy fucking ideas, and I get hate for it, and it's your fault. I get hate for it. I don't ever remember Tucker Carlson ever being engaged on anything he said other than he's a conspiracy theorist. No one ever took him on. No one ever took him on anything. They just said he was a conspiracy theorist. They said he was hateful. They said he was anti-Semitic. Said he hated black people. They never said why. They just said he did.
Violent threats, not just to my office, but to plenty of people across the country.
And everybody that's even a minor public figure gets all of that. So it's like bullshit. This is the new way to censor. Well, you know, transgender people. If you don't call a transgender person or the proper fucking pronouns, people are going to kill themselves or they're going to kill you. And then I guess we have to do it then. She gets death threats, so she can't be disagreed with or challenged. Yeah. That's she's so, this is the calling card of every single totalitarian dictatorship. We're doing it to save people. We're saving ourselves. Ugh, so obvious. You know, Vito fucking believes in this broad.
No, Christ.
Yeah, he does. He won't be out. He believes in this broad 100%.
Yeah.
I also kind of feel like I'm waiting for the cutscene at the end of a Marvel movie after all the credits have rolled. And then you see the
35-year-old politician. She makes a fucking Marvel reference.
Villain's hand reemerge.
This is something I would do. Come on, I don't have power. Oh my god.
Out to grip over the end of a building or something. But
whatever happened to her fucking Brooklyn accent? Her New York
Did she ever
accent.
have one?
She doesn't sound. Yeah. She puts it on she puts on the Hispanic thing every so often. Doesn't she sound like a white girl?
Deplatforming works, and it is important.
There we go. That was the thing. Deplatforming works.
And it is important. And
I mean, even that statement, deplatforming works. So you tried to deplatform him, and it's worked. In what way? So you got a bunch of hate. So you got to deplatform somebody because you got to get high. How does it work? Right. What are you trying to say? I mean, he's just a stone Nazi.
There you go. Good things can happen.
And what are these people? Every time somebody Elon Musk kicks some jackass off of fucking Twitter, they're like, "See, he's not for free speech."
Yeah.
But if it's the only reason he wants to talk, Tucker criticized her and her ilk, that made him dangerous. Any leader that does that and said any criticism towards me and they disguise it as violence is a megalomaniac that's probably trying to rip your freedom away. You ever see the place he represents? It's a shithole.
Yeah.
It's like you have like to live there. You'd have to be dumb enough to vote for.
Well, these people don't care about the stuff they argue about. These people just want to be famous. It's a new way of politics. Like,
and that's another thing. You know, she had an opportunity to really, do it. You saw it with the Republicans when they held the Speaker of the House feet to the fire, and they were like, "Hey, listen, we're not going to fucking make you a speaker unless you go along with what we want."
Yeah.
Right. And she had the opportunity to do that, to force the vote for so-called health care. By the way, I'm not for any of this shit. She fucking hung out all her liberal buddies to try.
Yeah.
And just went along with the Democratic mainstream. She's a corporate Democrat now. All the people that told me, oh, she's different, like 5 years ago. No, she's just like the rest of them. She fucked all the liberals.
Of course.
Yeah.
She's a politician through to the bone.
She is a megalomaniac politician. That is dead, like in absolute opposition to free expression, free speech, and most dangerously, her being challenged as a politician. That's it.
The sad reality is like what 99% of politicians only do it for themselves. They don't actually want to help.
Oh yeah, she's not even smart enough to hide it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I remember, I can't tell that story about I'm not gonna.
All right, next topic. So there's this new co-host that you might know. You might know this guy, Tommy. He does stuff on Red Fox Comms. His name's Connor.
Oh, all right. I just want to point this out because I know they're gonna try to fucking drag me into this shit. Okay, so Bunk does something fucking stupid. I just want to point something out with Connor's behavior. What I've been kind of saying about him last couple of months. He pretty much proved me right again because it's something. If there's some kind of weird interaction, if it's a relationship thing. All right, here's this relationship weird interaction between man and female. Augie's orbit equals Connor every time. Tipster. E-girl thing, Connor's right there. I'm saying everybody's making a big deal out of Salvo. That's something to do with a weird interaction between a male and a female, which is actually kind of looking like Salvo was like lied about. I have to say that. I mean, you're doing
free Salvo, free my boy Salvo.
I don't know about that.
Edwin did nothing wrong.
I'm not saying that either. I'm just saying it looks like they were lying about him. He may not have sucked Edwin's dick or whatever, or vice versa.
I always enjoyed Salvo's streams when he came back, and now he's gone again.
Yeah. I think get used to it. Guy's he's in court with Steven Crowder right next to him. So, all right. So Bunk puts this out there for God knows what reason. This is at least a microcosm. I'm the only person people detest enough to see that I was in an abusive relationship and then go, well, it's both your faults. No, I'm not at fault for being and receiving at the end of an abusive relationship. It's actually hard the way some people responded to this. This opens you up. Like, why are you talking about relationships? Like, most people go, oh my God. Like, if this happened like in an open environment or even online, here's what most people do, right? Oh my God. Yeah, that sucks, dude. And you hope they stop talking about it. That's it. But people have to live their lives online. And you know, in fairness to fucking Connor, if you're going to fucking advertise this shit, you're fucking calling in all the love doctors. And that's right. Connor was, there's no way you entered this knowing how insane Clancy is. And you know what? He's probably right. But that's not the fucking point. All right? Everyone around you knew it. It's a public spectacle. You're also publicly whatever. Here's the thing. Here's my point with this shit. Augie's orbit, relationship issue, or something else crazy. Connor, love doctor, the guy that looks like Alfred E. fucking Newman. You know the logo for Mad TV? That guy. Every time he's there. Like I said, oh God, this thing with Salvo's getting overblown. You like girls drinking piss? I tell you what, and I mean this, right? And I'm gonna move on because like some people get really upset when I talk about him, so I don't care that much. Last season, all right. If something comes out about his relationship, right, and it ends up, he deserves to be teased and goofed on to no fucking end. Because this, was he even 21 yet? This 20-year-old kid seems that he's one of these guys who, well, if I pick the right girl, I guarantee he's one of those fucking guys. Oh, you're divorced? You picked wrong. It's that simple. You picked the right girl. He goes, I know. My friend got famous and I moved in his apartment. I know. You know?
Yeah.
But no, here's the thing. Augie's orbit, relationship issue, Connor's there. Every time. It's just too funny to me. Every time. All right, I'll take calls now. Anything else? Oh, we got Optimus. Optimus, would you recognize that accent?
Dear Thomas, did you said Rangers fans would beat him up?
I would like that. I would.
As a Rangers fan myself, I wouldn't beat up Arthur Knight, that kind sir. Oh no, dude! Fucking you stand it.
He's Catholic. That's what I was thinking. He's Catholic. Maybe you want to kick the shit.
Oh no, fuck him.
Rossi, Italians tend to be Catholic.
No, but the accent thing, like we were all saying, he would have stood out a mile away in Glasgow. How the
I can't imagine. Maybe in the countryside, I could see people being a little confused. Yeah.
Maybe, yeah, but no in Glasgow.
Glasgow.
You have
in your regular life, you have contact with at least one Brit a day, at least, right?
Yeah.
And that's not just online, right? You're gonna run into
one
English
a
day. Yeah.
That's a Harry Potter villain. Honestly, that's what it was like. It was like watching Harry Potter. Guys, I think you'll agree with me.
He looks like one of the characters that, like, when Harry crosses over into the like on the train station, he looks like one of the people that's in the bookstore, the magic bookstore, right?
You compared it to SNL, right? I think no, it's like Mad TV, bro. It's like or Kids in the Hall, like a lower standard.
It's like a lower. It's like a lower.
Budget. They can't afford like the real costumes.
SNL kind of sucks now too, though. It's so beyond. Yeah, it's not like 1978 SNL. It's current.
Yeah, it's not fucking Bill Murray.
It's not Bill Murray and like Steve Martin and shit.
The strange thing was, just we were watching that interview again because I forgot all about that because I was watching the news when this was all happening.
It's so funny.
The whole pint of milk thing, that's a Scottish thing. That is a Scottish thing.
Right? Okay.
And even I was thrown off when he said it because I was like, an English person would never say that. Even English people who live here would say that. That is a Scottish thing.
A pint of milk. I never heard
pint of milk.
Because we've had conversations like, I gotta go out and get milk.
Well, nobody buys a pint of milk. Though. It's 2.5 litres. Like, everyone buys a big bottle.
I know, dude, but in Scotland, we're all backwards and fucking we're still in the dark ages with certain things. So.
like the metric system.
I live in Glasgow.
They're the dark ages of the metric system.
Exactly. We're still having a religious war till this day.
Jesus Christ.
It's kind of like Southerners when they go to get some soda. They just refer to it all as Coke. Like, I'm gonna go get a Coke.
Oh, everybody do that up north. They do that up north too. Everybody does it. Oh god, the only fucking country I've ever been to that's questioning me about is this one. Do you sure you want yeah, but we only have Pepsi. Well, then give me that.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Let's think Leanna because she wants to have sex with me. Leanna. Oh God. Oh, Connor doesn't fucking criticize me on that one. I made a sex joke around a woman. Leanna, get your fucking mic off. What's up?
Why are you talking about my man Connor? I'll fuck you up, Tommy.
You work in your American accent? Yeah, it's pretty good.
Seriously, oh my God. He's done nothing to you, Tommy. See? Leave Connor alone.
What has he done to you? That's what's more important. What has he done to you? Like, does he talk about, like, what tipsters...
my life.
What, does he talk about...
Jamal and I are so happy. And he doesn't care because he's always with Augie.
Oh God, he's so funny.
If you need me to do more voice clips, feel free.
No, I'm done with it. I was done with it. I just I was seeing how he walks on Twitter.
I thought we'd do Connor love phones.
It's so weird. Like he'll like I follow him on Twitter. We follow each other, and as soon as somebody, he's like, bang, he's there, man.
True.
It's so weird.
By the way, you didn't answer my question.
What?
What's your star sign?
Mine?
Yeah.
Libra.
Same. Twins.
Yeah,
oh my God. Besties.
Actually, that means we make a bad relationship then.
Really?
What's your rising sign? I bet you don't know that.
Fuck if I know.
I'm a Sagittarius. That means I'm artistic.
I was doing zodiac compatibilities.
I think it's. Oh, my dad told me.
Libra and Libra. This is the perfect match, Tommy. I'm doing zodiac
I think it's where the sun
This is the perfect
in your
match.
chart where you're born. Like, I think something like that.
Tommy.
Astrology isn't like. Astrology
Astrology
isn't
is
just
everything,
like.
Tommy.
Astrology isn't just those like. The what do they call that in the horoscopes? That's sun sign astrology. Astrology, it's like, I'm not saying it's legit, but it's a little deeper than that.
Yeah.
Tommy, Renula in the chat said Augie and Connor, the Ben Affleck and Matt Damon of comedy.
No. I'll give Augie. Look, Augie makes a great show. There's no doubt about it. He does good things, and he's never. I mean, he laughs at situations like when people are, what do you call it, degenerate. Connor injects himself, and Connor knows better than you. That's what's funny. I'm not dumping on fucking.
It's a Ben Affleck thing to do.
I'm not. Ben Affleck? No, like Ben Affleck's too cool for Connor. I'm sorry.
Don't insult Ben Affleck like that, Matt.
Ben Affleck and those guys are way. Those guys made what's that movie with
Will
Robin Williams?
Hunting.
Yeah, there's no Good Will Hunting over there. No way. No.
Well, what you didn't know is
That's
Smack
another
was actually
thing.
a
That's
math
another thing. Augie can take a fucking joke. Connor can't. What did he say to somebody I saw on my timeline was, Tommy doesn't understand, but I act like a Spurg on purpose. That's why. Get the fuck out of here, Connor. You're just a weirdo. That's all.
I remember he did a video about me, one of Tipster's e-whore things, and like he was going through my photos and like making some scenario that we talk late at night, like me and Tipster, and it was just creepy.
Yeah, I know. You send that to me. You still have that?
I will.
Yeah, send that to me. You better get it to me now. I want to go over that.
All right.
Why would he do that?
I think I can find it pretty quickly. Hold on.
Yeah, get that. Let's go over that now.
It's a race. I don't know what Connor's YouTube channel is, sir.
Oh.
Fuck, what is Connor's?
Why would he go over you?
Because
I'm not saying it's off base because
it's part
Matt
of the
wouldn't have
tipster
a
drama
show.
that he was.
What's that?
It was part of the tipster drama when he was covering the tipster
But it was
drama.
early Tipster drama.
He did a
like
whole stream on
before-
Tipster and he mentioned Liana.
He did a whole stream on Tipster and he bitches about me making fun of him? Are you kidding me?
Chat, what's Connor's YouTube channel, please? Tell me real quick. I was really
He did a whole stream on Tipster?
Yeah.
And he complained to me on he honestly complains about me on fucking Twitter? Unbelievable.
Okay, gotcha. I got it.
You got it? Legend.
I might have it. Let's see. All right, there's the
And it's-
Tipster. And then we go
It's like
transcript.
3/4 of the way through the video.
I want to see it.
Yeah,
I
it was
bet
like one of the
I bet
first
it
times someone's
screams
put
of
me on
I'm
the
afraid
channel.
of women. You know?
I was laughing my head off. I was at work and someone told me I was on Connor's channel, and I'm like at work trying to watch this, and I'm like, what the fuck? Then I went into the chat and I was like, what the fuck is this shit?
Like, what was his insight? What was his insight on you?
Basically, that I was sending him, like, I was uploading photos on Twitter, and he had my picture on Twitter and said, like, we were talking late at night and this girl looks really tired. Motherfucker, I naturally have bags under my eyes. Shut the fuck up, you
he was
little loser.
criticizing your look or what have you?
Well, he was trying to, but, you know, he's not one to talk. He looks like a twink.
He doesn't even look that good.
True.
He just looks like a dorky white guy. I mean, like a lot of guys. I look like a dorky white guy when I was his age. So.
All right, I think I got a better timestamp.
Let's all be honest. See the day Connor loses his virginity, he's going to stop YouTube. He's going to come off Twitter.
Let me see this.
Really talk to his wife.
This guy should not be criticizing your look. I don't care if you have bags under your eyes. I'm sorry.
So another thing about Tipster is that he spends an inordinate amount of time on Discord.
Inordinate? Oh, no,
Is that a word?
No, it isn't.
Calls with other women. Discord calls that are just, I mean, It'll be a one-on-one. He'll spend hours and hours and hours on calls with women alone as well, not on stream.
What do you care, 15-year-old? Like, what do you care?
And usually it is when he is having a meltdown or having a hard time.
He's like,
and what I'm curious about is why you're not talking to your wife. So I have one example here, and this is showing this woman by the name of Liana Taylor. So she posts a picture of herself at around, like, I think this is...
She's gonna say that you look funny?
About 7 in the morning. It's very early in the morning.
It wasn't
she posts
too bad.
4 selfies of herself, including...
How's she look, How's she look, Joey?
Oh.
Liana. What is his girlfriend?
I'm gorgeous.
What is his
fucking
girlfriend?
compared to him? Jesus Christ.
You know, I don't want to look. Is his girlfriend? No, like, I don't want to dig her up if she's not a public person. But is she out there? His girlfriend?
No, sure. His girlfriend's pretty. His girlfriend.
Does she look as good as? Does she look as good as that?
I'd say so. Yeah, she's pretty
She's
attractive.
that good look? Okay, fair enough.
One where she was very exhausted. Very, very exhausted. It looks like she's had a very long night. You can see the bags under her eyes, as if she's had a very long and stressful night.
Talk about her.
And Tipster replies to her, "You look so tired in that last pic. Get some sleep, homie. And thanks for the chat earlier. Appreciate it. Heart." For some context, this is the next morning after Tipster had a...
You're not an e-girl, are you? You've never taken money for any kind of sex thing or anything, right? Or like flirting or anything, right? Correct?
No.
Never.
I haven't.
So he's not replying to...
I do it for free.
I'll give you $50.
Tommy, I'll pay you to talk dirty to me.
Listen to this. This is so weird.
You can see the bags under her eyes, as if she's had a very long and stressful night talking.
I probably did, to be fair.
And Tipster replies to her,
You're probably partying.
"You look so tired in that last pic. Get some sleep, homie. And thanks for the chat earlier. Appreciate it. Heart." For some context, this is the next morning after Tipster had a meltdown and deactivated his Twitter account.
This is Steven Crowder at 20.
So, the only conclusion I can see here is that Liana Taylor and Tipster spent all night talking to each other.
Oh, yeah.
Fucking business. Like, wow.
Yeah.
Wow. What a creep.
Wow.
That's great. Honestly, to me, that's creepier than anything Tipster did.
A man and a woman talking to each other? Oh no.
You know she'd have a problem with it? His wife. That's like the one. If she said something, that'd be kind of different.
His
But
wife's
I don't know.
cool.
It's just like what I said before. You know, it's like if there's a relationship issue, he like Connor's on it. He just started his own love phone show. That's what Connor's
Well,
love
it's
phone.
like your wife. Your wife's cool with me, I hope.
What? I think if you
Like your wife's cool with me, I
well,
hope.
she hasn't seen the nudie picture you sent me yet, but
Yeah, it didn't happen.
I refuse to believe a woman who would actually sleep with somebody who looks like Connor. He also looks like he makes. I can't believe that anybody like the thing is you're talking like that, and you like I don't think Connor has ever gotten his heart fucking broken.
He will.
Oh, he will.
Oh,
It's
yeah,
Garrett
it'll
Miller.
happen.
It's a Garrett
When
fucking
Augie
T.
kicks him out, he will.
Because that's a party. Or you end up like two things happen. You get your fucking heart broken when you're in your 20s, and then you probably have a better chance to make a better pick. Or you end up like Steven Crowder. One of the two.
What's the other option?
Then you find out the hard way in your 30s or 40s. Good luck.
To be fair, he was giving me Jeffrey Dahmer vibes looking at the screen.
The way, yeah, I swear, dude, I'm sorry. That is bizarre. That is bizarre. It is. It's totally.
Very weird.
He's got
like, there's no like, all right, Tommy, you do that too. Like, but there's no punchline. There's surprise shock. It's Connor. There's nothing funny. Oh my
Ironically,
God.
it's unironically funny because he's a virgin. But I tried to confront him.
I don't know. Augie told me that he's
response
like a total like cool guy, total degenerate. Tommy, you got him all wrong. I guess.
But Tommy,
that's what Augie told me. Augie told me
But how
finally, like he's
fucked up
like the
is
coolest
it?
guy going. He's like more degenerate than ever. You're like framing us as like ultra conservative. Why did hey, Augie, how did I come up with that? You know? Like, this is weird. God.
But what's crazy is he makes a video about me. I confront him and tweet at him, and he just doesn't respond.
Oh no!
What a pussy! Like, yeah.
I wouldn't respond either.
Probably should have checked, Liana.
If you respond, somebody might actually watch the video and see how creepy it is. Somebody download this. How many? Is it an hour? I think I'll do it right now. This might be good in the future.
They're just pussies.
I'm downloading this right now. It's like, come on, man. Like, really?
I guess I did make it back into Augie's Discord, so I think Augie forgave me.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I don't know when this was. 11 months ago. You were going through a thing at that time, weren't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, you were going through your thing, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, you look hot to me. So.
Thank you.
You have to get out of here, and because
Bye.
I want to save my marriage. Actually, truthfully, Liana, my wife. What were we doing yesterday? Me, you, and my wife did something online. We were joking.
We're talking about that guy that was hitting on me. And
okay, don't say anything. Oh, I forgot about. Okay, don't say anything. Don't say anything.
Okay.
All right.
I know what you're talking about.
Famous.
Yeah, so do I.
Don't do it.
I don't, so I'm okay.
Somebody with some clout fucking hit Liana. It was hysterical.
Bro, the DMs are fucking hilarious.
Is it cool?
Fucking hilarious.
No.
So how long you been following me?
Yeah. And the conversation ends when...
Don't say anything.
What can I say when the conversation ends? Because Liana says, I'm actually in love with Tommy C.
Yeah.
So, and he's like, oh, okay.
And that stopped it.
Yeah. Well,
That's amazing.
I claimed her for Spain. He ain't going where I've been. All right, let's put Cuban on. Cuban. You're on the air. How are you, sir? Cuban.
My bad.
Hey, what's up, man?
What's up?
Hey, what's he tell me?
Not much. I want to talk about the AOC shit. I fucking hated her ever since fucking high school. She is a fucking retard.
I would say she's worse than a retard. She's a fucking she's a tyrant. She's a would-be tyrant, I should say.
She's too retarded to be a retard. You're giving her too much.
I don't know. You know what? You don't know the history of Eastern Europe, and how, like, some of these like Carcascu, they were total fools, and they made it all the way up the communist ladder. So don't I think you're not giving her enough, to be honest with you. If you know the history, like some of the leaders that were in in the Soviet bloc, they were completely insane and not that bright, but they were willing to do and say other things that other people weren't, and that's what put them at the top.
That is very fucking true.
Yeah.
But I have two things.
Sure.
Just going on this AOC thing. Back in high school, I fucking found out she didn't know what FDR or why FDR left office and why there's now a 2-term limit for fucking presidents. She's like, the Republicans just didn't like him. And I was like, man.
She said that?
Threw a rock at you.
Yes. Well, she has the IQ of a cop. I mean, I remember I was arguing with somebody that was over her house, and she was telling me, but she went to this university and that university, and I'm like, I got to be honest with you, that says nothing about those universities that they graduated her. And I mentioned that she was talking to some somebody who works for Border Patrol, and she goes, how are you criminalizing these refugees coming in the country because they're not refugees? What do you mean they're not refugees? Asylum seekers. I'm sorry, because asylum seekers can walk right up to the right up to the border, hand in their paperwork and say, look, I want to claim asylum, and they're given a whole process. They don't get caught sneaking in the country. Yeah, and it's like she got no, because asylum seekers don't seek you have to file to be an asylum seeker. And she was completely. I should show that clip.
She is so fucking retarded. I don't know. I do a fishbowl with fucking shit in it. That's how fucking I think she is. and she was like, "Oh my god, she has ruined fucking the Democrats so fucking much." Dude, I live in fucking Denver right now, and they're saying progressive might win. I don't want a fucking progressive in this goddamn state.
Well,
I'll take a
move. Move to Texas.
What?
Move. You're gonna get one. I mean, fucking, it's always been kind of a bit lefty over there. All right, I'm gonna put this clip on. I'm gonna put this clip on. I know you hate her. I get it. Hold on.
So the recommendation of the many that you recommended family separation.
I recommended zero tolerance.
Which includes family separation.
The same as is with every U.S. citizen parent gets arrested when they're with a child.
Zero tolerance was interpreted as the policy that separated children from their
If I get arrested for DUI and I have a young child in the car, I'm going to be separated. When I was a police officer in New York and I arrested a father for domestic violence, I separated that father
Mr.
from his
Holman,
family.
with all due respect, legal asylees are not charged with any crime.
When you're in the country illegally, it's violation 8 United States Code 1325.
Seeking asylum is legal.
If you want to seek asylum, you go through the port of entry, do it the legal way.
Boom.
It's I have another
thing. That's it. She doesn't know anything. Of course she doesn't know fucking any American history. She hates America. She's seeking power. She's not seeking a better union, a more perfect union. She's seeking power.
Exactly.
You want to know another retarded thing? Like, fucking no Democrat will talk about this because it's in the fucking.
No, you're turning my. This is not the Rush Limbaugh program. Have a good day, Cuban. Thanks for the call.
Wait,
are you still trying to go?
Yeah, like it's too much politics. I mean,
yeah.
Like I'm making fun of her because she's an internet idiot. You know, like, I don't want to. I'm not that conservative. Sorry. Russell, you're on the air. And neither is Steven Crowder. He's a big phony. And fucking Chris Raygun isn't a liberal or a conservative. He's just a big phony.
There's shitty people on both sides.
Yes, there are. I want to do that I hypocrite thing on Chris Raygun. I-H-I-P-P. I can't spell hypocrite.
H-Y-P-O-R-C-I-T.
Oh, that's I hypocrite.
You don't hear me?
Yeah, okay, hold on. Yeah, what's up, man?
No.
I can't.
So, I wanted to touch on the AOC thing as well.
No!
We've been talking about it for a little bit. Just hear me out.
Yeah.
Over the years, we've had like the quote-unquote celebrity politicians, right? The ones that, it's like, do you know of Senator so-and-so? It's like, was he your senator? Well, no, but he's this senator who pushes all these political initiatives and whatnot. AOC is just a new phase of that. She's the influencer politician.
Yeah.
Because she's not... Have you ever seen the video of like her hosting a town hall in her own district, and she's getting like heckled by the
but
crowd?
That's recent. I'm aware of that, but that's recent. That has a lot to do with two reasons. A, she bailed on Force the Vote, and two, she's pro-war. That's
exactly.
like that's why. So like, honest to God, liberals in her district, like they feel like they because they have been stabbed in the back. Because their principles were just completely tossed aside for her to move up the Democratic ring of power, So that's actually racist. But she was loved over there. They'll elect her again. You watch.
Oh yeah, they will.
I know that area. I didn't live far from there. They'll elect her again.
Personally, I just think that her getting into politics was her way of just being like, oh, if I can get into politics and I can get on these committees or whatever, I can be famous.
Probably.
You know what I mean?
She talks like that. Yeah.
It just seems like she's really. It's like she's not actually being an elected representative. She's just being like, oh, I'm in politics and I can push all these progressive initiatives.
She has said when Alex Stein called her a big booty mama or whatever the fuck it was, she suggested he should be arrested. I think she's a maniac. She wanted Tucker Carlson. Like she said, she didn't say that she wanted Tucker Carlson in jail. No. She wanted the fucking Fox News regulated. What happens when you violate the regulation? You go to jail.
And that's what it is with them. It's rules for thee, but not for me. Her and the rest of those squad types or whatever, it was all about exerting power and being popular. It's not about, pushing initiatives for or, representing your constituents. It's all about,
No. You know what it is? You're preaching. You know what it is? I got to interrupt you. You're preaching to the choir. And it's just like, you know what? I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
And I do not get why most people don't. It's so obvious that if she ever got power, people would disappear. It's like so obvious to me. But You know, it's just like Hitler and any other dictator. They got to be elected for the people to figure it out. You know, like when I said John Swan's a fucking thieving idiot, and everyone's like, "Oh, Tom, you," and then it happened. Like that's what's gonna happen with her. All right, when she achieves power, like, whoo, where they go? Hey, do you notice that everybody that criticizes them is a danger to society? Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's like
even. All right, no Rush Limbaugh. Thank you.
Can I just say, just for a different perspective, that I think Cortez is a fine-looking woman who I would let ruin my life.
What do you want to get?
I want her to ruin my life.
Absolutely.
Yeah, she's easy on the. You're my old man who hates her guts. She's easy on the also, son. All right, let's watch this.
Examples. Here you have a viral tweet.
All right, here we go. Chris Reagan, who was one of his biggest videos, is like goofing on woke people. Back then we call them SJWs. And this is I Hypocrite. I got a criticism for him too. Talking about like what Chris said was, he was in an interview, and shockingly, he was actually speaking in the interview, and it sounded like he had a personality and a thought in his head. And he said something interesting. When he started moving away from politics, what he claimed was when the moment he realized he wanted to move away from politics, when he started dating Lacey Green, and he realized that people were too much on both sides, like took the culture war way too seriously for his liking, which sounds like a completely normal fucking response, right? Right? I mean, yeah. Like when he started Lacey Green, like I actually had to apologize to him because something I said, right? Like I was way out of line, right? A lot of people went nuts over that. It was wrong. They loved each other. It didn't work out, whatever. Connor would have known it was the right pick, but anyway, stuff happens, whatever. So stuff happens. Okay, so that's the explanation he gave. And what I Hypocrite is trying to point out is that was bullshit. That was bullshit.
From Ray Gunn, where the meme says, cops when a black guy sells cigarettes versus cops when a school shooter kills over a dozen children. Now, obviously, the Uvalde situation was a travesty, and those police officers deserve all the ridicule they receive. But bringing race into an issue that had nothing to do with race is exactly the kind of thing that Reagan would have made fun of back when he was cool and popular. We have another viral tweet from Reagan where he quote tweets Elon Musk saying, "This is the most my girlfriend left me for a trans woman tweet I've ever seen." Chris counter-signaling both the NPC meme and the current thing meme as illegitimate issues that somebody would only pretend to care about if they were jealous and transphobic shows us that clearly he didn't just say everything he had to say. His politics changed fairly drastically.
What he's referring to is Chris said when people were getting too crazy, what he said on this show that his podcast is on, he's like, the moment he realized that he wanted to move away from politics, his content wanted to move away from politics, it was when he started dating Lacey and he saw how crazy everybody got. And that he said everything that he wanted to say, like his opinions, right? But what I Hypocrite does is he puts two memes on there that this is exactly what he would have been goofing on. This is exactly it. And here's my thing. I Hypocrite makes the argument that he was either always a leftist and just cashed in on the Gamergate thing, right? Mm-hmm. Or what I think, he never believed, he's just a fucking blank slate and he never believed in a fucking thing. Because this is him pandering to the left. Well, it's all, by the way, it's what all these YouTubers do. That's why I think Steven Crowder says, or any of these political YouTubers. Like a lot of those guys. Mundane Matt. What was his name? I always forget his name. He seemed sane at the time. Jeff, fucking Kraut's friend. The guy who fucking lied to Warski. I forget. And he was completely insane too. I can't remember his name. Jeff something. I can't remember that. I mean, that's whatever. Like most of the people that were in Gamergate, most of the people in that skeptic community were total frauds. Total frauds. God, I think who is like consistent? I know you said he took a swing at me, but he didn't. I don't think he did. Some black guy who's consistent.
Yeah.
And
I didn't say he took a swing at you. I said he mentioned.
Oh, he mentioned me. Yeah, he was right, by the way, when he said. He was 100% correct. He never. I think he's always been pretty principled. And look at the difference in hits. Like Chris Reagan was always able to get just a little more hits. I think all these guys just follow the fucking trend. I'll tell you, you know Ray, Chris Reagan used to hang out with? Alex. I'm Alex. He connected with everybody to stay relevant. So it's all the same. All the same. Like, what was Alex doing? Saying the N-word memes and shit like that. And as soon as, they don't believe in anything.
That's true.
They don't believe in anything. And just I noticed you're welcome, Chris. You give better interviews now since I criticized you and said you have no personality. Go to the Rubin Report. Go to the Rubin Report. He has nothing to say, and it was very similar to when we had him on Catch 33. He had nothing to say. Nothing. I don't believe any of these guys believe anything ever. It's only about their YouTube channel.
Do you think at some point they start out like regular people who have grounds, but then their revenue starts to increase and they have to
I think that Andy Warski was the same way too. Like I think what happened is I think most of these guys want to be rock stars, or want to be actors, or want to be skit guys, and they're doing their skit thing, and they do one thing that gets them in the view, whatever's going on, and what's really popular, what people want to eat up on YouTube, and then they become that. They become that. In other words, like, let's say I was doing music back in 2014, okay? And then I said, this Edie Sarkeesian girl is nuts. I mean, she's really lying about video games. And all of a sudden, I get like 10,000 more hits, right? And then I do it again. Now I got my first 100K video. Now I am a skeptic. I think that's what happened. Now I've always been that. No, it's just like it's like high school. Like I want to be in the hip hop crowd. So I was always into hip hop and I always dressed like this. Teenagers do it. But some high school doesn't end for everybody. It's definitely not on YouTube. This is where I get for an hour, 2 hours, get to be a high schooler again. I'll be perfectly honest with you. Just watch Twitter. Watch any of it. It's just high school. But it never turns off. I think they call those people terminally online.
Mm-hmm.
High school doesn't end for everybody. It's a little understandable. I can't say it ended for me in my early 20s. Didn't really end for me till I got arrested. And it was like, oh, I could have done real time. Grow up time. Still an asshole. The Army did the rest of the work. But no, I don't think Chris believes in anything. Or it's like me and Nick were talking before, like what happened to Bunty King? Because he kind of came and then switched. I think his is a little different. I think Nick's right about him. Bunty got picked on so brutally for that cuck video that he just started identifying with the people that were like anti-Medicare. Because he had no principles either. What was he doing? A fake Indian accent? When
he started off,
when he started off, and then completely switched gears. So that's like a perfect. And then clown shot him out, and he completely shift gears. Now he's a guru, a swami. Yeah, so that's the way it happens. And I'll be perfectly honest with you. If I do something on here that works, I'll follow it up too. But what I promise you, I promise not to bury my history. I'm always proud of the fact. I've never deleted the hockey podcast. If you want to go watch fucking 5 and 6 year old hockey, they're still there. I never hid from it, right? Because it was part of what we were at the time. Like, why? I never understood why. Maybe all right, I understand why. It's better for the channel, but I always thought it was phony. That's why Chris Reagan has more hits than I will ever have in a lifetime. No matter how, maybe even at the end of his career. All right, I do want to point something else out. Now I'm going to stick up for Chris on this. This is really weird. Chris put out this video. I guess he has panic attacks and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And Chris wanted to show people like what it looked like. I'm not 100% sure this wasn't because there's been other videos like this because I've seen somebody schizophrenic do something like this too. Maybe he was cashing in. I don't know. I think Chris is such a phony as possible. But the problem is I don't know if he's faking it here. I'm not 100%. I think this is really cruel because this is what iHypocrite ended it on. and I don't know, he looks like he's really struggling.
That comparison there, and you're probably like, really? Are you sure? Because I remember what. Fucked it up. Okay.
That's an anxiety attack.
Yeah, it's.
Tommy, that looks like an anxiety
I got the
attack,
vibe
yeah.
there too. Because you get them, right?
Yeah.
That looks like an
I
thought
anxiety
this
attack.
is real. And he edited the video. I thought that was cruel.
I've had some really bad anxiety attacks. That's an anxiety attack.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. I'm gonna leave it right there. I don't think that's funny at all. I mean, I don't. I'll make fun of Joey's anxiety accounts, but not.
Oh God, yeah.
I don't know.
But when he's making them noises as well.
I gotta be honest. He made all these really great points about Chris and what a phony he is, and then he took the one thing that's real and the one thing he struggles with, and just put it up there for you to laugh at. I don't know. Maybe you could blame Chris for being such a phony about everything else, and then just finally bite. I guess you could look at it that way, but I don't know, man. That's I did not I felt really cringy, not because of what Chris is doing. I fucking felt terrible for him when I'm watching this video. I'm like, God, I want to. You see, can't help but want to help him. What's your point, I hypocrite? What's your fucking point? Boy, man. I put everybody on fire in the show today. I ain't afraid of nothing. It's last season, baby. Only 100 people in here. Let's see. JFA, you're on.
Hey, what's going on? Just wanted to say, great stream.
Thank you.
It was pretty good.
Thank
Nice
you.
to have Joey back. This is commentary.
Yes, sir.
But I can't help but feel like he is a little castrated today. An entire stream, almost 2 hours, and not one slur. What's going on with you, Joey?
I told him not to. Actually, I didn't have to tell him today. I didn't have to tell him today, though. Did a pretty good job myself.
So, Joey, what do you think about that AOC? She's a real, right? Can you fill in the blank there?
Get out of here. Bye.
A very beautiful woman.
Yeah, goodbye. I had enough of him. I'm going to end the show. Actually, I want to. We're doing an after show. You want to do it with me, shall we?
No. I'm going to go grab some food.
Yeah, get fucked, Tommy.
let Optimus do it. He'll do it.
Yeah. I'm gonna Optimus. You better do it. You haven't done one in a while. You sit there. Oh, I'm sick and I have a chest infection.
I know, fucking poor me, yeah.
Too fucking funny. Oh, 26. Oh, 25th. And what time is it now? Oh God, we were on for 2 hours.
Yeah. It's been a late one.
Yeah, I've been doing longer shows. I noticed that. I'm saying. I'm not going on at 12. I'm going on at 45. Yeah, so if you're a member and you're synced into our Discord, join it now. And we continue to take calls bullshit for at least 30 minutes more. And if it's good, we keep it going. So it's up for you. And let's get the fuck out of here. What do you say, boys?
Yeah, that's a good one.
Thank you, everybody.
See you
Thanks,
later.
Joey, for bringing up this fantastic topic. Yes, we did get claimed. Yeah, we got claimed. God, I wish somebody would send a nuclear weapon to the guy claimed it. Ugh.
You should ask the community for a song to use.
I don't know. I like this one. It's so bad. I'm starting to enjoy it. Yeah. AOC. She's a good person. Wants what's best for Americans. Not unquestioned power like she behaves. I know you might come to that impression by the way she acts, but really it's just for the good of everybody else. LGBTQ people, black people, Hispanics, and annoying white girls. Bye-bye, everybody. I got a bunch of arcades behind me. I'm a fucking 45-year-old man-child. What the fuck do you want from me? That's right.